Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys fire defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus after one season. Yes, you read that correctly, the Dallas Cowboys have fired Matt Eberflus, and finally, Jerry Jones did not wait 2 weeks to make an important decision after the season ended. Dallas gave up 30.1 points per game, the most in the NFL, and finished 30th in yards allowed per game at 377 yards. The Cowboys' defense also did not create turnovers or get to the passer consistently. They gave up a team record 511 points, the 6th worst in NFL history. Trading Micah Parsons a week before the season started surely did not help, but not a single person can defend bringing back a defensive coordinator that could not stop me if I was out there. Okay, I am kidding, but you get the point. With Jerry Jones making this move early, he has a chance to bring in a lot of very good and respected defensive coordinators to interview for this job. The main issue is the roster. Of course, it is not the greatest, but you have a very good defensive line to work with. Clark and Williams are 2 studs, and you have 2 first-round picks that can be used on defense. The first guy at the top of the list should be Brian Flores. What he has done with the Vikings defense is truly incredible, and if he can even make the Dallas defense average with the offense they have, I am sure he would be willing to take the risk. I am not sure if he will be looking for a head coaching gig, but over 5 teams are looking to fill that role, and I am sure he will at least get 1 or 2 interviews. One other guy that I would love to have back but probably won't happen is Al Harris. He is currently the defensive backs coach and defensive pass game coordinator for the Chicago Bears. A job he took just this season. Yet, I bet he would come back to Dallas if he was offered the defensive coordinator job in a heartbeat. I am just not sure if Jerry will even think about reaching out to him. Harris turned the Bears' defense into a turnover machine as they lead the league in that department. Jonathan Gannon is also a coach that I would keep a very close eye on. He was fired as the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals yesterday, but has ties to the Cowboys' offensive coordinator Clayton Adams from their time in Arizona. A lot of other coaches are going to be around, and I have missed plenty, but these are the guys that jump to my head first. Let me finish talking about this by going back to what I said before. Credit Jerry for not dragging this firing out and allowing all of these other coaches to get interviews with other teams before he could contact them. This is the first step in actually doing what is needed to help this team heading into 2026. This might be the fastest he has moved off a coach in the off-season in a long time. The last thing I ask for is to please allow Brian Schottenheimer to have a say in who his defensive coordinator is. He is the head coach of this football team. He is the guy that has to work with him every single day of the year. Don't make this about you again, Jerry, like you did with Flus. Allow the head coach of your football team to make this call. You stay up in the booth and in your office, let the head man make the call on who runs his defense in Big D. 3 candidates for Cowboys defensive coordinator after firing Matt Eberflus. The long nightmare is over for Cowboys fans. At least they hope it is. After enduring a season where Dallas ranked last in third down, red zone and passing defense, the team cut ties with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus on Tuesday. The Cowboys will now search for their 4th defensive play caller in 4 years. Dan Quinn, Mike Zimmer and Eberflus have each taken a turn at the helm. Dallas now faces immense pressure to find a good candidate, ideally one that will stick around for longer than a calendar year. Luckily, there's a good pool of candidates to choose from. 1. Brian Flores. Flores has an impressive resume as a former head coach in Miami and a Super Bowl-winning defensive coordinator with the Patriots in 2018. He's been the defensive coordinator for the Vikings since 2023. Most importantly, he would bring the exact opposite style of Eberflus. Flores favors blitzes and pressure in his scheme, something that Eberflus shied away from, especially early this season. Flores is expected to be a hot candidate in the head coaching market, so it might not be easy to coax him to be a coordinator in Dallas. 2. Jonathan Gannon. After 3 years as the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Gannon was fired on Monday, but as one door closed, another one opened. Gannon is familiar with the NFC East from his days as a defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. He led a top-5 defense to a Super Bowl appearance in 2023, where the Eagles fell to the Kansas City Chiefs. His best path back to a head coaching opportunity likely lies in returning to his roots as a DC. Gannon also has strong ties to Dallas. He worked with offensive coordinator Clayton Adams in Arizona and also worked under former defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. Jerry Jones has always favored candidates with ties to the team. A prime example is Eberflus, who coached for the Cowboys long before being hired in 2025 to lead the defense. If he has trustworthy voices vouching for him, Gannon could be the perfect fit to rebuild the Dallas defense. 3. Al Harris. This would be a welcome reunion for Cowboys fans. Al Harris was the defensive backs coach for Dallas from 2020 to 2024. A former Pro Bowl defensive back himself, Harris made a name for himself as a coach by mentoring ballhawks like Trayvon Diggs and Darren Bland. Diggs tied a franchise record of 11 interceptions in 2021. Bland set the NFL record for most pick-sixes in a season with 5 in 2023. He's now the passing game coordinator in Chicago, where the Bears led the NFL in takeaways, 33, this season. Where Harris goes, it seems the ball will follow. It's a trait the Cowboys defense desperately needs as they've struggled forcing turnovers since Dan Quinn left. Harris is another candidate with strong ties to Dallas, which could put him above other more seasoned coaches. Quinn, Zimmer and Eberflus were all former head coaches. Would Jerry Jones and the front office go the opposite direction, hiring someone like Harris with no experience leading a team? With the recent track record of the defense, anything is on the table. The Cowboys' offense is in win-now mode with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb both under contract and George Pickens on deck to be resigned. The real focus this offseason is improving one of the worst defenses in the league, and it starts with finding the right leader for that unit. With the wide variety of candidates, Dallas has no excuse not to find the best fit for the job.